Join your hosts, Kenny and DJ, for your weekly dose of pro wrestling excitement.
Would you please shut the hell up?
From the latest news to heated debates, we got you covered. Every week, we dive into the world of professional wrestling, sharing our insights and opinions on the hottest topics. Plus, don't miss our top 3 winners and losers of the week. It's always a showdown.
What you gonna do when Hulkamania destroys you?
But here's what makes us different. We want you to feel like you're right here with us. Our goal is to make you a part of the show, because after all, wrestling is better when it's shared with friends. With 2 years of experience in the wrestling media scene, we're more than qualified to bring you the inside scoop and a fun and lively twist.
What the Rock is cooking?
Get ready for a funny, loud podcast where you're not just a listener, you're a valued member of the conversation. Welcome to the Call Up Podcast.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. We're back with another edition of the Call Up Podcast. It's your boy Kenny. It's your boy DJ. From the east to the west to the north to the south, we are covering everything there is wrestling, getting your opinions, giving our top 3 winners and losers of the week. DJ, all the way from the West Coast, what is going on, brother?
It is still showtime, even though it's going to be for one guy, it's going to be for the last, well, presumably, we know how wrestling works, the last time for our man, but yeah, welcome to the show. All our listeners, like, we've been climbing the charts.
I know.
So please
Shout
keep
out
it up.
to
We love
everybody.
you.
Yes, shout out to everybody who's been supporting the stream, the show. The podcast is actually doing really good numbers. I don't know, maybe because people are they want to hear your voice more than they want to hear mine, because, like, you know, it's working, you know. But yeah, man, how was your week so far? It is Thursday, as you know, as we're recording this.
Man, I'm nice to be seen, as my dad would used to say. You know, like, you know, I'm here, I'm above ground. You know, and then, like, this is always, like, Thursday is always my treat night. Like, I always feel good when I wake up on Thursday morning. No, like, this is almost like my therapy. Okay, so
Nice.
so here we are. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, right. It was it was a pretty rough week, but
Right.
But hey, we're here now. This week's almost over. Everything will be, like, you know, I saw One Love, like the movie One Love, and just like he said, everything's gonna be all right. Just keep on going.
I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Yep.
Probably if I can go this weekend, I'll probably end up going this weekend to go and check it out. I haven't been to the movies in a good while, so I definitely want to catch a good flick. I've been doing a lot more of the, like, Netflix thing. You know what I mean?
Hey, no shame.
Yeah, I was listening to the guys over at the running over at the Fig Cave. And Phil was talking about that show on Netflix, Lover, Stalker, Killer. I watched it twice. I watched it once by myself, and then I had my wife watch it, and she ended up watching it, and I watched it with her just to see her reaction.
I do that too. Like, I'll watch something, and then I want to watch with Athena or
Right.
my daughter, and just to see their reaction. Like, I already seen it. I want to see what you're gonna. I do that too.
I even had my mom watch it. So, like, it was getting so good to a point where, like, I called my mom because I knew she was home, and I was like, "Hey, you got to turn on Netflix. You got to watch this show. I'm gonna wait until you get to the part that I'm at." And I waited, and then we just got on the phone, and we were going back and forth. I could have just drove to her house, but I just didn't want to get up from my house and then drive 15 minutes to my mom's house. But it was it was very interesting. You know, I still have a lot of questions when it comes to that show.
And we already got folks in the house. I guess like Tyson was here at the pre-show, and then
Nice.
we got Chad Miller from the Dirty South.
How are you seeing?
You can't see it?
No, I can't see anything. That's why I'm
I
just
see
like,
it.
this
Yeah,
thing
we
is not.
got
Oh
E1
man.
Kicks is here.
Oh, so you know what? I'm gonna have to. I have no. I see viewers. We have 9 people watching right now.
And
Right?
I see all the comments.
I
Easy does it.
cannot.
Just
I
told me to
cannot
treat
see.
myself.
I cannot see one comment at all. I can't. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't even put your comments on the screen like we normally do. I can't see no. I'm like, it's so strange. I'm like, no one's saying anything, but I'm seeing the numbers are up, but I
Right.
see nothing. I'm gonna try something else. Let's see if I
Okay.
do this and see if someone comments. Does it pop up there? Because I see nothing.
Somebody give us a check. Give us a
Someone
comment.
give us the check real quick, and that's probably gonna be the only way. Because if not, I'm gonna have to switch over to my phone
to see the comments
and see a comment.
Nope, there we go.
Okay. Might need to refresh. But the thing about it is,
we'll have to refresh the show.
If I will have to restart the whole entire show, and that's it. See, okay, so I'm gonna.
Now
I'm
they're
gonna
coming. Look at that.
Okay, now I can see the comments. I'm just like, what is going on here? Loving the background collection. Oh, that's you, because I know my collection. All you see is
You
belts.
got them belts
side.
back there, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something.
My whole collection got broken down and it's somewhere else. Kenny had one job. I know I had one job. Listen, it's not my fault. Okay, I'm gonna blame this one on Restream right now but hey, listen, at least I don't have to go through. I don't have to keep clicking for the comments. You guys will see the comments there. Welcome on in. Oh snap! What do you guys use to stream with? We use Restream for now, but we're gonna end up using something else. See, EW Kicks.
The run-in use StreamYard. I probably
Right.
Cave at this point as well. And I know this is exciting radio for the folks who listen
I know,
to
right?
the vocal.
So anyway, back to we was back to our catch up of the week here. So I put down I know you're probably wondering, I put down in the show notes, I was like, trouble at work, fuck my supervisor.
That caught my eye.
Yeah. So quick
Should we play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music?
Yeah. So it's, you know what it is like, as a city worker, you have a lot of people who do things and they try to be slick about stuff, right?
Exactly.
And
yeah, I've been there.
I am sitting here doing someone else's job, and I'm getting bombarded with emails about stuff that you should be doing as a supervisor, not me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're like homeboy from Clerks.
Yeah, I'm not your supervisor. You're my supervisor. You should be doing that stuff. So I had a little moment there where I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not dealing with it. And I took a day off at one point just to like recharge my brain. I went for a job interview today. So let's see how that goes. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it is what it is at this point. Tomorrow's Friday. If you guys are listening to this on Friday, thank God the week is done.
Oh my God.
You know? But
so I take it, like, did everybody have a long week? Was that a long week? Like, not just the leap year, not just that we're recording this on leap year day,
right?
But not that. Just this week, it just seemed like it was something in the air or something.
I think it was. No. I think it was. I think that a lot of just weird, crazy things happened this week that it was just like, why?
Like, dude, cause remember, you know this from the group chat. So I got an oil change.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was like, so we got the oil change, went to go see One Love, came home. I go to use the car like a day later, and all the oil had come out of the car. Like, all the oil came out of the car.
Oh my God.
I started driving, it started making noise. The oil light started coming on. I was like, ooh, and I had to, I got like 2 houses down and made a quick U-turn and put it, and so I could stop, so I don't blow the engine.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I had to tow it back to the place. And then with my receipt, like, yo,
like, you fucked up my car.
Yeah, and you guys are paying for the tow truck.
Yep.
And you're giving me another oil change. So, but it's just the whole, like, that was a day gone though for it to do that is the thing. And like of course you're worried about your car that you
Mm-hmm.
damn near blew your engine. So yeah.
See,
So yeah, and it was a
everyone's
rookie. Some rookie forgot to put something on, and all that oil came out.
that's coming out of his check for sure.
Man.
See, and you know what? I'm glad the people in the chat here, they're saying, they're all saying the same thing about like
Yeah, they
their
are.
bosses and stuff like that. So it's not just me, and this weather has been crazy as well,
Easy's
because
crazy.
EW Kick said about the weather. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the weather too? That's another thing.
He said I would just say yes, massa, to make the boss uncomfortable.
Yeah, like shit. But
And
before
it
we
had like
get
a piece of long straw in your mouth when you do it too.
listen, my supervisor is one more talk away for me to flipping him the bird real quick or cursing him out. Like he got
That
one
was
more. He got one more try.
That's one of my favorite D.L. Hughley jokes. He's like, isn't it funny that there's a coworker that doesn't know that they're this far away from catching an ass whooping?
Yeah, like
It's like if you don't know who it is, you're that person.
exactly. Before we get to the news, let's get the sponsor here out of the way. Obviously, sponsor this the people that help us here is the wonderful people over at SeatGeek. Guys, we're only around 35 days away until WrestleMania.
Man,
If you have not gotten a WrestleMania ticket yet and you are new to SeatGeek and you're thinking about getting yourself a ticket, use the code word to call up to save you $20 on your first purchase. Or if you're not going to WrestleMania, you want to check out a basketball game, hockey game, you want to take your lady, your significant other to a play that's in your town, use the code word to call up. It'll save you $20. And it'll go a long way for us because then it shows the people over at SeatGeek that people are supporting the show.
right.
Oh, DJ, me and you were up at what, midnight? I was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was like 2 a.m. for you.
Yeah. And I went straight through.
And we went straight through for 4 hours to watch Elimination Chamber. All the way from Australia. Shout outs to the people over at Australia. You guys shot us up in the charts over in Australia. We was number 21 in the charts over in Australia. I was so surprised when I got the email breakdown of all the different hits, and Australia was up there. They made us number 21 for the week, which was amazing.
Get on you, mates.
Yeah, let's start off. I know somebody in the chat last week was like, "Hey, there's a pre-match. There's a match on the pre-show." We laughed at this person and said, "No way." I think it was Jamal that said that there was going to be a tag team match for the kickoff show. I said, "No way in the world that's happening." And then, boom, I get off the stream here, and sure enough, I get a graphic on my phone. The Kabuki Warriors taking on Indy and Candice LeRae. Right. I said, "You gotta be shitting me." So I end up getting up at 3:50 in the morning, got myself together. See, it was Jamal. So Jamal's like, "Yeah, it was me. Give me my credit." Shit. Getting up at like 3:50.
The show corrector.
Try to wake myself up to sit there and watch this match. It was a really good match to start off. Mm-hmm. Obviously Indy, getting the ovation that she did. A lot of the times they wanted her to be in the whole entire match, but unfortunately this was a tag team match that you had to put in Candice LeRae in there. Yeah, there were a lot of spots where it looked like possibly they could, win the tag team titles, which I love matches like that, where you kind of think that, like, hey, this person may lose a title and then they end up winning. Like they still retain.
Challenger gets that 2 count and does the
right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a smart move on WWE's part not having Indy take the pin and then the pinning Candice LeRae. Mm-hmm. It's just because I'm sure it would have gotten a lot of people over there upset.
No, and I'm pretty sure all of the other 3 women in the match were like, yeah, let's do it that way. Like, right. I'm pretty sure they were all on board with that. She was at home. Let her get her stuff in, like, which they did. And let Indy let Indy go in there and have some fun in front of everybody.
Right.
In front of, she's a home. She was at home as well. So just like in Kate, like they used Nia Jax's kayfabe
Mm-hmm.
place of origin, right?
I'm
so
still
that
mad.
she could
I'm
be a
still
heel.
mad. Yeah, I'm still mad that they didn't say that she was born in Australia.
Yeah,
Right.
they wanted to keep that heel energy going, even though technically it was a heel versus heel match technically, but
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just like mommy is just too popular.
Right.
Like she's she's one of those heel. She can't even really be a heel anymore.
Jamal brings up a really good point when he's like, he feels that Indy being a former NXT Women's Champion, she doesn't get the exposure that she deserves. I do notice that with a lot of people that come up through NXT. It's like they did really well in NXT. They get to the main roster, depending on how creative has plans for you. You don't really get that much shine when it comes to certain people. That's why I'm really like nervous for Carmelo Hayes
Mm-hmm.
going to the main roster, just because he is a smaller guy compared to all the other guys that are on the roster right now.
Right.
Like he could get lost in the shuffle. He could be that Johnny Gargano.
Well, at least like that's why I think I like that he took a lot of tutelage from Sean, because here you have Sean in the Land of Giants that got his shot. Like once he got a singles push,
Mm-hmm.
he was not letting it go.
Right.
So that's the reason why I think he would like one of the reasons that he was so on edge all the time is because he's like, I know if I screw up, some big guy's gonna come along and that's gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
So so I can see that, like, and as you like, they have all the the Easter eggs for Carmelo that has been working
Right.
with Sean. So so I think he'll be all right. And then going back to Indy, I just think we got to remember that the women's roster is pretty stacked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of competition. Like I don't think for at this point, I don't really. In fact, I think even the women that have been in the business for a little while, they're frustrated, but they get it. They're like, there's, I know I'm not getting this much time, but look at this roster.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do get it, you gotta be on it when you do get your chance. And I think, in my opinion, Indy did that on Saturday. I think she showed like, yeah, you need to put me in more matches. Which when we get to my loser, I have a spot for Indy.
Oh boy, Indy's in the loser circle for DJ this week.
No,
okay.
I said no. The person I think she's not in the winner's
Oh,
spot.
okay.
No,
I
the
was about to
person I
say,
think
man,
she
what
can
did she
take her
do?
spot.
Uh-huh.
Like, so the person's spot that Indy can take is in my loser spot tonight.
Got you. Moving on, where we had we didn't have it was the women's elimination chamber match that started off. I thought this match was good. I thought that it showed a lot for Tiffany Stratton in this match. It showed her star power in this. A lot of people were upset when she got eliminated. I know I called her the Charlotte 2.0 at one point. I don't know if it was on this show or it was some other places. I love to talk about wrestling all the time.
Right.
And she showed out.
Yeah,
Not for nothing. She should have won.
If she did win, I think she should have. Like, I think one of the part of the boos was that she probably got eliminated too quickly. Like, even though she was even for the a lot of time that she had, she probably should have been part of the last couple women in the match.
Oh yeah,
because people were enjoying. Like, she won the crowd. They wanted her to stay. So it might get to the point where it's going to be hard for her to be a heel. Because people are they're starting to gravitate to this character. Like you said, like, I mean, is it a hot take for me to say, like, you're saying Charlotte 2.0, like she's almost like a younger, more charismatic Charlotte.
Charlotte better watch it.
Because in my opinion, I don't find Charlotte that charismatic. Like, she's great in the ring. She can tell a story in the ring. But when she grabs a microphone, I'm like, yeah, can you hurt? Like, I'm like, let's hurry it up and have the person with their retort come out because she just doesn't do it for me with the when she's talking.
I for me, there was, like I said, Tiffany Stratton, amazing work. Another person who did a really great job was Liv Morgan.
Yes, we could see this heel version of Liv
Yep.
Morgan, and see, like we said, when you turn heel, you got to jump all the way in. You can't half-ass it, or it doesn't look right. So she's jumping all the way in. You know, we saw a little bit more even on Raw. She's gonna. I think this is gonna be a good freshen up of her character. So yeah, I'm for this for this heel Liv Morgan.
Now I know me and you both picked Becky Lynch to win the women's elimination chamber match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was too.
I mean, it
much
was
to
too
pick one.
obvious
Yeah,
that this was going to happen, especially with all the promos that she was doing on Monday Night Raw. It was obvious that she was going to end up winning. Do you feel that this was the right call? In your opinion, do you feel this was the right call for WWE to get this match?
you know, so as we know, booking can be tough, man, because you think somebody is hot for him. Like, you know, when you're going into a match, you think somebody's hot, and then all of a sudden the crowd reacts to something else. Okay, so going into the match, yeah, like, you know, we could see Becky Lynch getting one more shot at the title at WrestleMania. It makes sense, right? But as the match is going on, though, the crowd start again to Tiffany and Liv. I mean, they were getting the crowd, like they were gravitating to those two. Like you damn near started to hear boos. Like I thought I heard like a little cluster of boos when Becky won.
Oh yeah, for sure you did.
Okay, so because they're like, yeah, I think we're good with this. You know, I think we're good with seeing Becky, you know, winning, and you know, I think that time she's probably had her time. Like it's probably up, or you know, so it might be time to let these other women start to pass her.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the women that were in this match. Obviously, you know, I know I'm going to keep going back to Tiffany Stratton because she's the rookie in this, and not really feeling that it's like her time right now to start stepping into those big matches at, like, say, a WrestleMania. But you had someone like Raquel who's been going through her own, you know, personal issues, and every single time, and I always feel bad for Raquel because every single time she just gets up there, she starts to like get that climb, something happens. She had the arm injury. Then what was it in NXT? She had the knee.
Yeah, because she
Now
still wears that Stone Cold knee brace.
Now the skin condition.
Yep.
That's been going on, and we've seen it at Elimination Chamber where like they didn't pan to her face a lot because her face was so puffy.
Right. I'm sure that heat did not do her any favors. Like this time in Australia is very hot and humid. You probably saw it. Like if you go look back at it, folks, you can see people by the time they make their entrance, they're already wet. Okay, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're in Australia. I for those that don't know, I lived there for a little while.
Yes.
And yeah, this time of year, it's a for real summer. Like it's a they have a damn summer in Australia.
Yeah, it was.
Happy leap year, folks. Happy leap year day.
You could definitely tell that it was super hot over there, where people were just like, even in the crowd, and they live out there, and they were. You can definitely tell that they were like, all right, I'm a little hot here. Like we got to get this going.
And the seating arrangement, like it looked crazy, but then as the event was going, it made sense. Like it looked funny when when you're trying to assess how many people are there.
Right.
But I got it. I understood. Like it's like, okay, so don't want to sit people right next to the to the pyro. Also, you do realize, like, okay, you can't put too many people on the ground floor at a stadium show. Like you're gonna be really far back. So that's why there was only so many people sitting and then sitting on the floor. It's time to go into the stands at that point. So it looks crazy, but it made sense.
We had the Grayson Waller effect,
Yes, we did.
and I think we talked about this last week. I said I kind of have a feeling on how this is gonna end,
Mm-hmm.
and damn sure enough, it did. But before we get to that,
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised that Cody Rhodes calls out Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I still gotta call you Dwayne.
So you see
I'm not
people
just
do
gonna go
it
full
even in the
Rock.
show. So
Yeah,
so that is a
and
thing.
he wants to wrestle The Rock. Where? No clue.
We don't know.
When?
Yep.
No
We
clue.
don't know.
But I like the fact that he called out The Rock. So now are we going to get a response? Because The Rock is supposed to do 3 SmackDowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's doing this Friday,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
And that's in
8th,
Tucson, I believe, because my
right?
cousins in Arizona, I believe they're gonna go.
So let's see. Jamal, I was reading the comments, so I paused. So Jamal goes, "I just want Cody to finish the story so people can stop crying about it." Here's the thing, and we all say the same thing. We just want him to finish the story so he could just so we could. I want to see what's next. I want to know what creative has for Cody Rhodes when he finishes his story, because guess what? The one common thing that everybody in WWE has in common right now
Mm-hmm.
is that they hate the bloodline. But the bloodline is the number one selling merch,
Man.
is the thing that everybody wants to see.
Yep.
Matter of fact, SmackDown right now,
Yep.
this Friday, is sold out
It's sold out.
because of the bloodline.
It's sold out.
So what are you gonna do once I want to know what people are gonna do when the bloodline is not here anymore. When they take a break, Roman's off doing,
movies.
movies, and The Rock goes back to doing movies, and Jimmy's still here trying to get a solo run. And Solo, what happens to Solo? What happens to Paul Heyman?
I wonder if that would probably be a good pairing right there to pair him with Solo.
Yep.
And don't worry, Chad, that is coming.
Chad,
up.
we got that. We got that in the notes.
Like that's again, like, so it's just like I think some of the fans, like I said, like we talked about before, they're a little bit young, so they don't remember, like, say, the Four Horsemen.
Yep.
Okay, so folks that don't remember the Four Horsemen, like, so again, when Ric Flair was champion all those times and for all those years, to me, this all looks like I've seen this movie before. Like every time Ric Flair would get into trouble, the Horsemen would come out of nowhere with the referee's back turned, and somebody pulls a wrench out of their boot, and knocks out whoever.
I love that old school wrestling.
Or hit him in the knee, so Ric Flair can get the figure 4 on him. Like, so it was, this is not new. This is not new for a heel faction to like steal wins from the baby faces in the world title matches. So yeah, and then when it was gone, when there was no Four Horsemen, like you said, like they struck, like WCW had to go find, like, okay, what do we, they had to bring them back because they're like, what other we need a heel faction. Heel factions make wrestling really, like, they make really good storylines. They're really good for wrestling. They're really good for business. So it's hard to take away a good heel faction when you got when one is clicking.
So after they did the whole calling out The Rock thing, here comes Austin Theory
Well, I remember
doing
Seth
his
too. Like Seth
yeah.
was like, "Wait, you're gonna need help." Like, so he got
I
cut
mean,
off.
listen, Seth is just getting tagged. He just wants to tag along because they have nothing for him right now. They got to save him for Mania. So they're going to put him in this big bubble. And they're like, all right, basically, you know what Seth Rollins right now reminds me of? Cody Rhodes is the big brother. Seth Rollins is the little brother. And he has to tag along with his big brother
That's
because
hilarious.
mom has to go to work.
That's hilarious. That was me growing up. I'm the youngest, so I had to go on everybody's dates and
Yep.
hangouts.
How many arguments you got with your siblings?
Oh, that's how I learned how to basically entertain myself, because they would put me somewhere. Here's $10 and just stay over there.
After they had their interactions with Austin Theory, what happens? You get the crossroads, you get the curve stomp. They did everything, and then they destroyed Grayson Waller's set, and then they sent them off. Jamal says Seth is Scrappy Doo. You know what? That's a that's a really good analogy of it.
Oh man, we got a Scrappy Doo reference.
Now we got Scrappy Doo.
Shout out to Scrappy Doo.
We had the tag team title match. Damian Priest taking on Pete Dunne. And but I'm trying to remember the name of this team that they gave them.
I want to say the Tidy Whities, like, cause those tights that oh boy was wearing look like Tidy Whities.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will let us know what their new name is, because they brung the name up on the day of the pay-per-view.
Right. And they made a pretty decent damn tag team in this match. You know, I liked how at the end of the match you had Finn really selling his fingers being all jacked up. So yeah, that it was.
New Catch Republic. See, thank you, Tyson.
We knew somebody was.
I knew somebody would know it.
The New Catch Republic.
The New Catch Republic.
Yep.
The one person that I said that I was really surprised that he caught up, that he was just there and like he was on point with every single thing, and that's my man Damian Priest. Mm-hmm. Because all the rest of the guys were really, they're more fast paced than Damian Priest.
Right. And
he was able to not only stay on point with everyone, he had a little couple of hiccups here and there, but he recovered.
Right. Well, like I remember, said, a lot of speed was in the ring, man.
Yeah, because what was that one move towards the end of the match where he was supposed to? It looked like he was supposed to do like a leg flip, and he was supposed to run into Finn Balor, and he didn't run into Finn. He kind of just he paused. He looked like, oh my god, I'm supposed to keep going, and then he kind of just ran a little bit more to hit Finn Balor.
Yeah, no, I remember that spot. Well, like you said, man, sometimes it happens on both shows. Like we like to see these botches, and I'm pretty sure everybody on here shout out to Botchamania. Maybe one day we can read the intro for them for on our show. But
so Jamal says, what's the dislike for Damian Priest? I like Damian Priest.
Some people like I think some people just kind of look for things to not like, to be honest with you. Maybe because I don't know, because like maybe it's another big man. I don't know.
Right.
Like I think he's a pretty decent wrestler. I kind of like the character. He sounds like Vin Diesel. What more do you want? So I don't get it either. I don't get it either. I think some people just don't like him, and they can't really give you a reason why. It wasn't their guy.
Exactly.
It's probably all it is.
But Judgment Day walks away Still your tag
And
team,
still.
your undisputed tag team champions. I'm still waiting for them to give these guys just one title.
I know they would like that for traveling. Jesus.
Because you can tell, like, Finn Balor does not like rocking 2 titles.
I don't
Because
think
he used
anybody
to.
does.
He used to like put them both on his shoulders and walk around and, you know, do that's, you know, the laugh and stuff like that and the little grins. And now he kind of just like, all right, listen, he had the
Didn't he
titles in his
tuck it
hand.
into
And he's like, all right,
front of his pants before too?
yep.
But I think, like you said, anybody that's ever carried a title to an event knows that after a few minutes, you're like, this was not a good decision. Unless you're wearing it. Like if you're wearing it, it's okay. But when you just have it on your shoulder, you're like, man, this is like carrying a person. What did I do this for?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing, they have 2 of them.
We had the men's Elimination Chamber match. This match was all over the place. There was so much stuff that happened in this match that I don't know if creative was just like, let's just take all of ideas and just throw it in there. What's the worst that can happen?
And we got to fill the time because we only got 5 matches on this show.
Mm-hmm. You had Drew McIntyre, you had Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, LA Knight, all fighting for a chance to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the one person, not for nothing, and I know I talk shit about him, besides Drew McIntyre, is Logan Paul, and I think he did an okay job.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Especially
the
for
fact
his first
that
time in a match like this.
I like the fact that he was getting himself more heat and not even really doing much.
Right.
Like
how he's like drawing stuff on the
I didn't notice that until somebody sent me that video.
And then that was right before he gets beat up by KO, or then KO ran him through that because that was
Kevin Owens being in that pod and them having the camera on Kevin Owens was the funniest thing.
Yes,
because he was like, "Hey," like when Randy got on top of the cage and he was doing his move to the crowd over Bobby Lashley. You hear Kevin Owens, Bobby, look up. And I thought that was really hilarious. Logan Paul drawing like the devil stuff, the devil horns, and talking to the crowd and making fun of Kevin Owens. I thought that was really good. There was no way that I would have thought that AJ Styles was gonna do what he did. And it was funny because when we was in the chat doing the watch along, somebody in the chat had mentioned, "Hey, where's AJ Styles?" And then 2 minutes later, here comes AJ Styles with a chair, and he was cracking LA Knight,
cracking him. So we're gonna see that match.
That looks like we're there. That looks like we're gonna get a match. We're gonna get LA Knight versus AJ
Jamal
Styles.
said me
Jamal
again.
is back to back. He's like, that was me. You know what? Anytime I say something, I'm just gonna be like, I think it's Jamal, and then somebody else will correct me later and be like, it was not Jamal, it was me.
We might have to rename him Jamal Simpson because he keeps predicting stuff. So like
Jamal's predictions is gonna come next.
Jamal's predictions. And then Tyson, like, what if we made a T-shirt or something with that that says "Dry Ass Drew"?
Dry Ass Drew. He did it. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the title in front of a live audience.
So we can finish that damn story. Because that's another story that I'm like, yeah, go ahead and let him win it so we can stop talking about it.
But you know what's gonna happen though.
No, he's gonna lose it right away.
Which
is fine. Like that, I like the chaos, so that I'm here for that as well. But now he can't say I didn't win it in front of a crowd. crowd.
And you lost it in front of a crowd too, which I can't wait because we're gonna get another round of crying Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw,
What the hell?
and he can't blame the bloodline.
Speaking of the Simpsons, sometimes he sounds like Willie, the the custodian at the school.
I
Willie,
remember. Excuse me.
the bloodline keeps jumping in on me.
Who else? Another surprise that caught me way off guard was Logan Paul. The way he finished the match, hitting Randy Orton with the brass knucks.
Man. And that looked like a good swing. Like that punch was a good swing.
Yeah, finally. Because all the other times I've seen him swing has been the worst. So
I wonder if he's afraid of connecting because he boxes, but I'm like, these guys could take it. Go ahead and
he boxes.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I've seen the videos on that too. I'm like, yeah, that's a little like
we gotta analyze that one day.
We watch too much wrestling for this.
We know a fake before. Punch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the signals for a punch, like you know, there's fights where I clearly see him signal that he's about to throw the right hand, and he connects.
So,
but now he's in real choreographed fighting. So,
how do you feel that we're gonna end up getting Logan versus Randy at WrestleMania? Because that's the only pay-per-view we have. Does Randy walk away U.S. champ?
Will he be the only guy in the match? Because there's a few people that's ready to get at at Logan Paul.
The only person that I can see available right now is Kevin Owens. Because it looks like they're sticking LA Knight with AJ Styles.
With AJ Styles, so that's true.
Jamal says a triple threat match for the U.S. title. So it works.
Our resident predictions.
Right. I'm just so curious as to why did they do this? Like, why bring AJ against LA Knight and not Randy, and then have Logan knock out LA Knight?
I guess they're just, for whatever reason, they're just not ready to put a title on this man. I don't know.
But you put a title on Logan Paul.
Yeah. I'm not saying this right. I'm just saying I don't know what's going on with the pencil. How you doing, Josh? Joseph?
What's going on, Josh?
Joseph. Yeah, I don't know what they're like. I'm with you. I would have switched it around, and then that would be a great setup for Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I mean, I'm sorry, Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and then you get your LA Knight title, right? Because I think that's what people are looking for, is for LA Knight to be carrying a title. But which is probably gonna be a classic match, like with AJ Styles and LA Knight.
Man, I hope so. Because not for nothing, I was already ready for LA Knight to be US champ with all the stuff that this man has gone through. And they put him, they put him in a title match against Roman.
Right.
You would think that they would think that he's ready. Yeah, you would think that he's ready to, take it to the next level, put a strap on him, and say, okay, what can you do with this?
And I thought the crowd would, in the title match, I thought he kept the crowd behind him. I didn't expect him to win, but he, he showed, though, that in a main event for a world title, he has an audience that's rooting for him. So, that's key for them to even consider you winning the thing, right? So, I don't let's see what happens. Like I said, I don't know why. I would have done it right here at Mania for the U.S. title and have him, carry the U.S. belt for a minute.
1,000% sure I would have done the same thing. Even Joseph says the same thing. He's like, they're not going to give him a title match until he's no longer hot, like they always do, which is true. Like once they start getting guys super red hot on stuff, they kind of just like fizzle out a little bit, and then all of a sudden they like re-pop up again, and they expect for us to be cheering for them all over again.
Say, man, we liked them, 8 weeks ago.
Yep.
He was the number one merch person for a while.
Listen, just put the strap on R-Truth. That will make my year, because I don't know what the IWC fan base would do
Oh my goodness.
if they was to put the belt on R-Truth.
I wish we really truly had forbidden doors open so that
Right.
he could show up to Dynamite and and think he's on SmackDown or something.
Like, Adam Pearce, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, this is Truth. This is Dynamite. It is?
Oh, yeah.
Shawn
I'm
Michaels,
in
I'm here in NXT.
Yeah. Yes.
Then he just looks over, he sees Taz. He's like, don't I know you from somewhere?
Right. Yeah. No, that would be gold. Okay. It would be gold. But that's me. I know that door probably will never open.
Oh, yeah.
24/7 title.
If they bring back the 24/7 title for R-Truth, I want to see the way Triple H will book it. I think it will be booked completely different. Because if they're going to bring back this title, I think they will want to make it a little bit more serious than what it is.
No celebrities winning it.
Yeah, no. That was when you knew that they just didn't give a shit about that title.
Right.
When everybody and their mother won that damn title.
I mean, I think I won it for like 5 minutes, and then then somebody pinned me when I was sleeping.
Crazy. Hey, Chris is in the building. What's going on, Chris? Chris goes, R-Truth is a national treasure. You're damn right. He's a national treasure.
Protect that man at all means.
Let's move on to the main event, and we have Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax for the women's world title. A homecoming for Rhea Ripley. She had gotten a really big pop from the crowd. The one thing that really sucks is because she's a heel, she couldn't I know she wanted to smile because she's you see her all the time with the smiles that she has on her face when certain things happen in women's wrestling, and this was something that was really big for her. She had 13 family members there. Rhea Ripley's Puerto Rican, ladies and gentlemen. Because I only know the Puerto Rican and black people are the only two that I know that would bring 1,000 people to one gathering. All right, DJ, when you graduated, how many people from your family showed up?
We had a section.
Exactly, I did too.
We had a section. So
let me tell you something. My son's basketball game, he was in the playoffs.
Right.
Our whole family came. DJ, the size of this gym is like the size of my living room. The little section that they have where the chairs are. I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to post it here so everyone else can see it. Imagine a really small space, and then you had like 20 people coming to watch a kids playoff game. Everyone's like, but who are all these people? Because normally, those basketball games, there's not too many parents there.
Right.
When I told them that he was playing in the playoffs, I'm coming.
The playoffs?
Yeah. Give me the address. I'm showing up. I was like, you should have came to the championship game.
Right. The park right around the corner from my house, had all the, when I was growing up, had all the recreation sports. And their basketball court has a balcony. Oof. So when you're playing, you just had this whole roar of voices that came over you when you were playing in that gym, and it was crazy.
I love Nia Jax showing in this match.
Oh man,
because she changed a lot of her style to make people stop talking shit about her. And I loved it. Because you can't tell me that this match was bad.
No, it was a main event. Like it felt like it had a big fight feel. Like it was a true main event. I think it works for her to wrestle somebody that is closer to her size and strength. Because when you really look, like I think again when you go back to the botches that people talk about, I think when you go really look at them, some of the time it was just like, okay, the reason why that happened is because that woman is about is about 1/3 of Nia Jax. Like that's the reason why that injury happened. No other reason. And then what we, how people, they just pile on. And then every mistake, I think it was starting to get in her head, like, damn, I can't do anything. I just turn and I accidentally elbow somebody and oh, there's another one.
Exactly.
So but now I think she has her confidence. I think the family pulled her to the side. It's like, you need to get it together. And
I'm sure Natty has something to say about that.
Sure. And again, she looks lighter on her feet. Like she's not as late. She was kind of lazy like before. Now she's in there doing the work. So
shout out to Charlotte for getting her in the gym.
So it's like, hey, you got to give her props. It doesn't matter what you feel about her. You're supposed to boo her. I don't care if you boo her, but you can no longer say, oh, she's just a horrible wrestler, And like I used to say on the run-in, I was like, well, the other thing that kind of bothered me about it is like, well, we have wrestlers like, say, Vader, right? So we know Vader. Like, so it was a thing that even wrestlers say to this day, oh, I didn't like wrestling Vader because I knew he was going to throw potatoes. And he never washed his gloves. So you had to sit there and get punched for real with some smelly ass gloves, like when you went against Vader. He was in there hurting people, but he's a legend, and nobody, and it's all right.
And no one bats an eye about it.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, whatever, come on, folks.
I mean, obviously, we know that Rhea Ripley wasn't going to lose this title.
Jim Cornette,
but it made it pretty close. Right. The way these two were going at it. There was a video that we posted on the Call Up Instagram page where it shows at the end of the match where Rhea Ripley got a standing ovation again in the middle of the ring, and she had tears in her eyes, she had a smile on her face, and it was well deserved because, man, her and Nia Jax put on one hell of a match. And for me to be where we looked at it and we was just like, it's 8:00 in the morning where I was. What time? I forgot what time was it around you. It was 5:30 it was 5:00 in the morning for you. And for them to keep us entertained for that long, for the 30 minutes that they had for that match, I thought it was great.
At the end of a show.
Not for nothing. I would like to see a rematch. Got more people coming in here.
Hello. But
welcome on in.
But yeah, man. No, and then so Jamal was saying Jim Cornette didn't like it, and
Jim Cornette don't like nothing.
He can be pretty bitter. Something he probably let me guess. He thought that the men's Elimination Chamber should have been the main event. That's probably what his big gripe was.
I'm sure it was. I haven't listened to this week's episode of the Jim Cornette show, but I'll probably most likely take a listen to it tomorrow when I'm at work.
Yeah, I bet you that's the biggest gripe. Oh, that match! I think the match should have been second to last. Like that's I would have put that thing second to last, even though I oh, he didn't like.
Oh, that? He didn't even like the men's elimination match either.
So he probably just stuff didn't get booked the way he thought it should be booked. Oh well, hey, I respect Jim Cornette's mind for wrestling for sure. But he's got his own opinion. He can, and he's entitled to it. But he has an opinion that I do respect because,
right,
he actually he was actually doing not like we're gonna talk about Metzler in a minute. He don't know nothing, whereas Jeff Cornette was right there.
Nope.
Like he was in the room when things were when things were happening. To quote for the folks that's ever watched Hamilton, he was in the room where it happened. So
Thought you was gonna quote Sasha Banks when she was at Comic-Con. Were you there?
were you
Were you in the room?
the same? Yep. So and he was so.
Oh my god! But overall, I thought the Elimination Chamber match was good. It kept me entertained for a good while. The only thing that I would say is we didn't need the Grayson Waller effect. If you wanted to call out The Rock, you could have just done that on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You could have sent an email. You could have sent a tweet, an X, whatever it is you guys want to call it. We didn't need that 15 to 20-minute segment. We could have just kept it moving.
I would have switched it with the women's tag team match.
Yes,
because I think
you could have put the Grayson Waller effect on the pre-show.
Because I get what they're doing. Because Grayson Waller's from around there too, so they're like, okay, let's get that. We can give a little nugget for the story. So I get why they did it. Like they used to do the same thing with Piper's Pit and stuff. So I get it. But right and smack dab in the middle of the show, I get what your gripe is. So let's see the tag team title match, like an actual match, and then have the segment be in the pre-show. And then that would have brought people in. Like people would have grabbed their beers and started running to their seats when they, as they hear the entrance music's happening. So, so I think that would have been a great start to the show, I think.
There were other reports that were going about Elimination Chamber match. Bronson Reed was supposed to have a match at Elimination Chamber match with Seth Rollins for the world title. There were before they said that he was cutting promos about talking about getting going after a champion and doing all these things, and it was in reference to Seth Rollins, but due to some personal reasons, I know that Bronson Reed had just became a dad. The baby came early, so he wanted to be there for the birth of his son, which I don't blame him. But I'm sure that
we can have that match.
You can have that match, and I'm sure they're gonna give him that match eventually.
Sure. No, he can. He can get that match anytime. Yeah. No, you only see that only happens once. So.
Right.
So no, you go to that. You can have your. You'll have those matches later. No worries.
Exactly.
I have no problem with that decision at all.
That's our wrapper for Elimination Chamber. In case because I was looking at that, I was like, damn, that really did take long because we broke down a lot of stuff.
1 out of 10
from that
10
from that pay-per-view.
Think?
I would give it an 8.
Okay.
The only reason why I give it an 8 is just because 1, because of the time, and 2, because of the Grayson Waller effect. It was not needed at all.
I think I'm gonna go with 7. I just because there wasn't a whole lot that happened that you didn't think was gonna happen. So
right.
Which I get it. Like save your fastball for WrestleMania. I get that. So it's not. I'm not saying they should have did this and no. You don't need to. Save something for the big show. But for I give it a 7, which is that's above average. That's so you're still good. I'm glad the people of Australia got a pay-per-view. Like they seem like they went home happy, and that's what it's about. Like when that's watching people videos and stuff as they were leaving. People seemed happy. So all the Australian listeners, let us DM us, let us know how much fun you had.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear from the people that listen to the show that live out in Australia. Just leave us a comment, hit us up on Instagram, and just let us know what was the vibe, what was the feeling in that arena while you guys are watching the pay-per-view. Did we miss things that we didn't get to see on TV that you guys seen that you guys found interesting, please let us know, because we definitely want to hear from you guys about that pay-per-view. I saw something very interesting online that I put in the notes. I know we've talked about this a number of times, but it's starting to show even more. They said 86% of AEW's fan base is saying that they're getting tired of AEW.
Whoa,
It's not
I missed
feeling
that.
like the old days.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I'm just like,
And then where did that
80.
come from?
I saw a post about
Okay.
it online. I think I saw it on Instagram, and I just wrote it down really quickly.
Right.
It was from one of like the news. I think it was from Sky Sports that reported about this,
Mhm.
and they were saying like 86% of their fan base is saying it's not like the old days.
It's not. I agree with that. I think it was, in my opinion, it was infinitely better when they had the group of wrestlers that they started with, right?
Right.
And you got to get to know them every week. So it's like, okay, yeah, we have this brand new company. I honestly hadn't seen some of these people before, but they were entertaining me. I was like, okay, I'm having fun getting to know these folks. And then you start, as soon as they, like, to me, like, it started to get funny when you give me Jake Hager and tell me
Right.
that's a big signing. So that's when I started to go, okay, what's going on here? What do you mean that's a big signing? Come on.
I mean, to them, it's a big signing. To Tony,
So, and so it become, well, I mean, because it's an obvious, he got released from WWE, and then we're supposed to be shocked by most of the people that get released by WWE. Like I like when we lie to ourselves, and and most of the people that got released, we know why they got released, but we want to act like, oh, what they releasing that guy, even though, come on,
like,
do you have
listen, you
any
wasn't doing
merch from
much.
that guy that got released? No, so so stop it, okay?
Exactly.
So, and then Hager showed, so since then, so now you're just signing people just to sign them. And that's what I think took away the allure of when they started, because it was like they had their own roster, even though they would keep, like, that's why I was like, one of my biggest complaints before was like, stop mentioning WWE, just do your thing. You don't need to mention them.
And they, you know what is, they can't help but mention the competition, and then that's what sucks. It's just like, you need to be your own. It is not like the old days, because the old days, like you said, we got introduced to a lot of. If you were not too much of a big indie wrestling fan, then you're not gonna know a lot of people that's on your TV.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know who Darby Allin was. I knew who Darby Allin was because I used to watch Darby Allin when he used to come to New York, and he used to wrestle at the church that I used to go watch all my wrestling shows at. And he was still doing those same moves that he's doing in AEW. He was doing it on a gym floor where I've seen this man almost break his back in a high school gym
to entertain
for
us.
200 people.
Yes. No, like you're saying, like, so if you go back and watch Beyond the Mat, and so that when you saw the two indie guys go for the tryout during the movie, okay, that that company is in the Bay Area, APW. That's where Thunder Rosa came from. That's where Powerhouse Hobbs comes from. That, I can go down there. I can damn near go down the AEW roster when they first started. It was all in that gym. I was buying front row tickets. I was moving my daughter out the way when they were diving into the front row. Okay, so I knew these people, and we were happy to see them. And they were like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you getting that guy? So it's just like, so." And then here, like, you're trying to mix gym wrestling with New Japan, and it's kind of a funky mix, and so and here we are.
I mean, because those kind of spots work when you're in a really small arena. like a small venue,
Yes.
you're gonna get those pops. And I think what they're trying to get is the GCW
Mm-hmm.
feel,
Mm-hmm.
but at like a safer rate. They'll give you a little bit of blood. Moxley will go out there, cut himself, and drop a pint. It's cool. He does it every week. You know, guaranteed.
That man must eat a lot of food that that creates hemoglobin because that man bleeds. But yeah, like you said, like, and that's like that's part of what's happening. Like, so when it first started, okay, it's something new, something you were growing with. Then they brought all
Mhm.
this stuff in. Now, like you're saying, now the spots are getting like it would work in a gym. Like they're giving me spots that would work in a gym, but it
Right.
doesn't work for television. Like if I can see a setup to a big pile on the floor. Like I remember Bret Hart talking about this, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, he's just he's a grumpy old man." I'm like, no, it does look crazy. Like it look like you bring somebody on the outside to watch the show with you. That's like they probably watch 15 minutes of wrestling, and then they see a
Mhm.
bunch of guys waiting for another guy to dive on top of them
Yep.
for a minute and a half. It doesn't look good when it's supposed to be a
Oh,
simulated. It's supposed to be a simulated fight. I don't care what the style is. It's a simulated fight, and I'm gonna wait for you to jump on me on the outside of the ring for a
I
minute.
got somebody on my losers that did that.
Oh, see,
That was
so
pissing me off
and that's what
every
that
single time.
86% is. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
It pissed me. I was so upset looking at this thing that I was just like, why would you do that? I don't know. Listen, I like AEW. I say this every single week. I want you guys to strive, but you guys got to do something.
Right.
You need to have some type of creative meeting to get better at what you're doing. I think it needs to be maybe a little more stricter over there. I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but something needs to change. Because I even had one of my close friends tell me that they love AEW, but they just don't know how to really build their stars. And he brought up a good point where he was just like, you have Viva Van, who is red hot on the West Coast, started making her way to the East Coast
Mm-hmm.
now, and you stick her on ROH, and you don't do anything with her. So it's like, then you wonder why people leave.
And then you had what O'Shea had to say. Like so you had, um, you saw that guy that does all of the like the cringy wrestling takes. Like he's like a kind of a big guy. He's got the classic neck beard.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
so he started talking about, and he's like, I mean, so it tells me he knows nothing outside of wrestling because he goes, and this guy that looks like a Ice Cube lookalike, and I'm just like, right then, right when he started his rant, I was like, dude, you need to you need to get outside of wrestling for a second, like,
I'm like, man, you do know that's his dad, right? I'm just saying.
yeah, just for a second, not watch something else, get into something else, just for a second. Man, this man Jeffrey said, bring the triple cage match. That was pretty cool, though. I shall admit.
I like that. Well, let's
Yep.
see. The way Tony Khan is, you never know, Jeff. You never know. We may see that in a
He
future
might
episode
rent
of
somebody's
Dynamite.
house and say, we're having a house match. And they go in and wreck somebody's house and get concuss each other.
This next piece of news, I was so surprised when I saw it that I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And I immediately got into the Inner Circle chat and we were talking about it. And that is the passing
Man.
of Michael Jones, also known as Virgil, in WWE and in WCW. I know he was dealing with a lot of medical issues.
Yeah.
He made it known, online that he was going through a lot of health issues. and he was looking for help as far as getting like donations and stuff like that. Anybody who's ever met Virgil, he will try and sell you everything.
Yes.
Yes,
the show that we went to together.
That's why I had it in my notes where I was just like, I gotta talk about the time where like I finally met DJ. Talking to DJ through the computer all the time. DJ made his way to the East Coast, and we went to this wrestling convention in Albany, and it was me, you, Tom, and Carlos.
Right.
And I remember you went to go. I think you went to somebody else's line to get an autograph. Tom left to go meet the Headbangers, and me and Carlos was just standing there looking around waiting for Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And who comes next to us from his table but Virgil? And he's like, "Hey guys, where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's from the Bronx. I'm from Brooklyn. We're with our friends." And he's sitting there having this whole conversation with us. Then he's just like, "Hey, I'm standing right over there in case you guys want to take a picture." And I'm just like, "Okay."
Yep.
And it was even funny because when I went to go meet Ted DiBiase and IRS,
they had, I'm about to say they had all of the Money Inc. was there.
Yeah,
you can get the whole Money Inc. picture if you want it.
He was there, but it just so happened to when I went to go get my picture taken, he went to the bathroom. So I never got to take the picture with him. So kind of bummed out about that. Have spoken to Virgil online a couple of times. He was gonna do a Conversations with Kenny episode, but things didn't work out time wise between the both of us, so that never got to happen. But do you have a Virgil story that you want to share before we move on?
Oh man, so the same show. So like you said, like I went to go get my picture with Haku of all people.
That's what you went to go see.
Yeah, and Haku, like his picture, like so. Remember, this is in the middle of COVID. This is what's funny to me. So, middle of COVID, this man's not wearing a mask, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to tell him to wear one. And and then, so I pay my money for the picture, and then and he's all happy to see me. And then the pose that he chose was to have his hand around, like he put his hand around my neck.
I remember that.
And I wasn't gonna stop him. And it's because his hand. If you look at the the pictures posted in my Instagram, still the man's hand could probably go all the way around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Just his one hand. So, but he was a good time. And then I went over. So I went over there with you guys because you guys were waiting for Money Inc. And then I think Tommy was talking to Virgil. And something came, like he somehow brought up that he had a 12-inch Johnson. And we were like, I don't know if my stomach didn't like it made my stomach hurt so bad laughing because he was actually fun. Like if you went and talked to him, he was actually fun. Like I didn't see him as this, some people say he looks miserable. I'm like, well, maybe because you're taking pictures of him at this table by himself and he's bored. But this was so close and intimate that it didn't matter that you weren't in his line. He could still tell you you're still standing right there. You could, all the guys that were in that room, you could, even if you didn't pay to have a picture or something signed, you could talk to them because they were standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was cool about that event. But yeah, that's sad, man.
Definitely I'm gonna miss his tweets.
Yeah.
He used to have some really good funny takes on life when it came to the Sauce King.
Yeah.
The Meat Sauce King.
The Meat Sauce Game, yeah.
Oh man.
Which I mean, because it's just, and it's a grim reminder that these guys like do not have healthcare plans. They don't have a retirement plan. That's something I do wish that they would put, like, at least a retirement plan, at least. Like somebody that wrestles 10 years, you should get some kind of medical care.
Right.
Like they're making enough money to do that.
No, you're absolutely right. I think that's why a lot like WWE changed their policy when it came to their medical benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you're not here with the company anymore, but you can still use the benefits.
Yeah, because you gave up your body to that
Mhm.
mat out there. Rather, I don't care if you won, lost, whatever. Go, like, you think this isn't serious? Go, again. Somebody, if you don't think this is serious, go somewhere and take some bumps and see
Mhm.
how you do. And that's just taking bumps. We're not even talking about the cardio part.
Exactly. You're for sure you're gonna be freaking tired.
So yeah. So rest in peace, my brother, and and condolences to that family. I hope
Yes.
it gets it time goes by, it all it does is hurt a little bit less. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right.
You're gonna but that's part, like, that's how they stay alive. You keep remembering them.
We got a return this week.
We did.
Yep.
On a lighter note.
If you guys are trying to pick the show back up, we got a return back to WWE. If you guys follow the NXT brand, they've been throwing out a lot of vignettes of us, a certain someone. A lot of people thought that it was Bo Dallas, because Bo Dallas has been throwing out these vignettes online,
Right.
talking about Bray and talking about the disciples and all those stuff. So a lot of people, including myself, I was just like, this is Bo Dallas. It was finally revealed this past Tuesday that it is Sean Spears behind these vignettes that are going out in NXT. And what's crazy about it is that he is going to be known in NXT as Sean Spears. He is not going to be known as Ty Dillinger, aka the Perfect 10, like he was when he was in NXT and when he went to the main roster.
Right.
Which for me, I thought that was great. Like, use a name that's making him hot right now.
No, he it's kind of like one of these stories that, okay, he kind of was mid when he got to the
Yep.
main roster. Like, let's be real. And then so he got outside of WWE and then used the independents to, like, kind of reshape himself.
Yep.
And it worked. It worked for him. This is a character that works for him. Like, sometimes that's all it takes, is to get a character that works for you. And he's making, it's basically probably himself turned up. Those are the best characters. So and I'm just like, so we're calling Jamal the the show predictionist, and, like, I mean, this man says they're really gonna cry if Sting pops back on WWE TV during WrestleMania weekend. That would be, oh my god.
But
the Twitter app might just crash if you try to tap on
listen, for sure it will. I do like the simple fact that they're using this chair gimmick with Sean Spears, because
Sure.
this is what we saw in AEW.
Yes. Keep it
So
going.
Cody better watch himself, because you got Sean Spears back. That chair shots will come back and hit you.
And there's a story there.
Yep. So let's see what happens to Sean Spears in NXT. He went after Rich Holland, which, not for nothing, good, because I'm still mad at Rich Holland for fucking up Big E's neck. All right, we still don't got Big E in the ring. All right, we need him back.
So he needs some chair shots while we're waiting for that, huh?
What did Jamal say? Jamal said, I mean, they keep saying that it's his last time being on Dynamite. No, we'll see.
Right.
Let's see. There was a big signing in WWE, and it's funny because the picture that you sent me of the funny memes that they show on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll pop this one up that you sent me.
Right.
And this was the way WWE is cheering on, because Tama Tonga, who is a lifelong New Japan wrestler with Bullet Club, has finished his contract with New Japan Wrestling and is now signed to WWE. That is the rumor, the report that is going out from the Wrestling Observer, that he is signed, that he is on his way to NXT. So not for nothing, you got Sean Spears, you got the OC. Now you're gonna have Tonga there. You still got Carmelo Hayes. You still got Trick Williams. NXT is fucking looking hot.
And see, so like I said, going back to the way that they made Tama Tonga like all the way down the list there. I'm like, first off, like, come on, Mariah May, like most people like most people listening to our voices not know who Mariah, like have not watched a Mariah May match. Let's be real. Okay. You put like, Adam Cole up there, like I have like there's nothing that Adam Cole has done in A&W that's made me feel anything. Like, I don't know about you, but there's nothing. Like, there's nothing. There's not a match.
DJ, I do you one even better. Remember when the fans got upset because Vince was going to put Adam Cole as the manager to Keith Lee?
And
what is he doing? What is he doing now?
Yep.
He's a fucking manager.
Because that's what he like. So again, it's like, yeah, there's a happy medium here where, yeah, it doesn't have to be like Vince McMahon in the 80s where everybody has to be a bodybuilder. I get that. And I agree with that. You should have different sizes. But I can't do like this is where, I'm gonna just admit this about myself. I can't do this little bit like this guy that could be that looks like that I could see walking down the street, and I'm supposed to suspend my believability here, and he gets into the ring and he's knocking like 300-pound guys on their ass.
He's knocking Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Okay. No, like I can't do like it doesn't look right to me. Like, it's like, this is so that's what, like, so Adam, like that, and that's how I felt about Adam Cole, like especially when he got to AEW, because you could tell, like, so you could look at him and tell that he didn't like how much work that WWE makes you do with your physical appearance, and then he got there and went back to eating Cheetos. You could see it. Okay. So and then it looks even worse now. So, but yeah, Tama Tonga goes to the OC. You got
to see that. It would definitely help him out, just because it gives them some type. First of all, it's going to help the OC because they can work that storyline where, like, oh, my brother is here, because everyone's their brother. And it also gives Tonga some time to work up the crowd.
Right. Which, I mean, and here's another thing about him. He's toyetic. Like, he does, he does the hair. He does the face paint. He's got the leather pants. He's got a look there. So it's kind of, for a WWE crowd, I think he's gonna win them over pretty easily, because he's got a cool look to him, and he's got some good stuff he does in the ring as well.
I'm wishing him all the best. I really hoping that this works out. It's still up in the air for Okada. I know a lot of people said that he's going to AEW.
It's not a done deal?
It's not a done deal yet. This is just a rumor that's been going around that he's supposed to be going over there, because you already got Will Ospreay, who just finished up his tours over at New Japan, and now he's over at AEW, and they're making that into a big thing. Sasha Banks is supposed to, Mercedes Moné is supposed to be debuting next week over at the TD Gardens. And then it's either Okada's coming to AEW or he's going to WWE. They're leaning more towards AEW. That's the rumor that's going around, that's like a signed, done deal. But I don't believe anything until I see the person on TV.
No, I hear you on that. because like you said, we've been like, I mean, with Cody and CM Punk, like we got played, so all of a sudden you're hearing Cody's music at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
If I were WWE, if I were signing Okada or not, I would have one match be somebody with a mystery opponent just to mess with people. Even
Right.
even if it's just somebody that ends up out of left field wrestling in this match, but just so I can mess with people, I would do some kind of, oh, this guy's gonna have a match and we don't know who he's going against.
Exactly. And then out comes Okada.
Maybe so. Like you said, it's. I just, it would just be interesting. Like if they actually signed everybody that was on those podiums,
Right.
So I would go back to that 86% of people. I think that's the reason why they they ran out of, it's like you're just signing people.
Just
You're gonna
get that cheap pop.
Yeah, they're gonna be excited about it for 2 weeks. And then they're gonna, like we're gonna see Will Ospreay lose to Orange Cassidy or something. Mm-hmm. So we shall, like, again, let's see if they can. Okay, you got all these wrestlers. Okay, at this point, then I'm gonna tell, so for the diehard AEW fan that says that WWE's trash, AEW is the thing. Okay, so now if you sign every single one of those people, you no longer have, so I want to see every arena needs to be sold out, especially for tapings. No excuse. You should be over 1 million viewers. No excuse. Those are two, and yes, those two things matter. This is a business. Okay, nobody, those numbers mean things. Okay, you can't.
I'll do you one even better.
Mm-hmm.
Next Wednesday at TD Gardens, when that show is over, and the numbers come out of your viewership, it should be at 1 million.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No excuse.
If it's not, I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah.
Because WWE does 1 million on a random Monday and shows you half-ass matches and still gets 1 million views.
That's just running the time. They're basically just running. They're running the clock until WrestleMania, basically on Raw. That's what's happening on Raw. They're just, nobody go out there and do not get hurt because we need you at Mania. That's basically what's happening.
Speaking of people getting hurt, I know we talked about this last week, where we was just like, we don't know whether or not if the injury bug did hit Hangman Adam Page. He came out last night at Dynamite to tell the fans that he was going to not be a part of this triple threat match with Samoa Joe and Swerve.
But then he beat him.
Kind of figured that he wasn't going to be a part of this, even though a lot of people was just like, "Oh, it's just a part of the storyline." If this is still part of the storyline, it sucks because I really wanted to see this triple threat match between these three guys.
Yep.
Just because this storyline itself is like the best thing going for AEW right now.
Exactly. Yeah, you got, because he beat him with a crutch after he sold all of the injury and everything, walking all the way down to the ring, and then all of a sudden he's talking to Joe. Swerve was talking to Joe, and then bam. So it might, like you said, it might still be a work, and we might still get this triple threat. I'm holding out hope too. I'd really like to see the triple threat.
If it doesn't, then it looks like we most likely have to wait for Hangman to come back and get off the injury list and wait for another pay-per-view, which will be, I don't know, in the summer, because AEW doesn't do a lot of pay-per-views throughout the year. So
would it be Wembley? Is Wembley the next thing?
No, I think they have one.
No, it's Vegas, right?
Yeah, I think they have Double or Nothing, and then they go to Wembley.
Right. Okay.
I was happy to see this because all the videos that CM Punk was doing, especially when the full roster list for WWE 2K24 came out, CM Punk wasn't a part of it. CM Punk goes on Instagram and makes all these videos, like TikTok videos, about him not being in the game. And they came out with a commercial on Monday Night Raw, and they introduced this. The season pass is WWE 2K24. And look at the roster of talent that we have here. You have DDP, you have the Dudleys, you have Carlito, you have Pat McAfee, you have Lex Luthor, you have Mr. Perfect, Jade is in the game, Kyrie Singh, Post Malone, and the man in the middle.
Bad Bunny.
I would have put Bad Bunny. I think Bad Bunny isn't it? Wait, hold on. Bad Bunny's not in this game?
I didn't see his name.
Holy shit. I gotta look over that roster again.
Yeah. If I missed it,
I'm sure he's probably in one of those DLC packs.
Yeah. Now, if I missed it, I missed it, but I would have put him instead of Post Malone. Like Post Malone must have made a song for the game or something.
He did. He's doing the soundtrack.
There you go. So But
we finally
I'd go Bunny.
But we finally get CM Punk.
CM Punk is in 2 games running simultaneously.
We get him back in a WWE game. There's no more creative
going to the community.
Going into the community and trying to see who can make the best CM Punk.
Shout out to the community though, man. Those people do some good work.
Yep.
They do some good work on.
And I think it makes it a little more easier for them now, for the simple fact, like,
now you're just doing.
They have the moveset. All you have to do now.
Oh, he's in the base game. Good. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Tyson, if you don't put my man Bad Bunny in there, Bad Bunny, I don't know what to say. Bad Bunny, as well as my good friends over at the Washington Heights area of New York City like to say, Bad Bunny. If he wasn't in the game, I don't know. But he's in the game though. He's in the game. Thank God. I'll put the strap on Bad Bunny anytime.
The Washington Heights GameStop would have been hearing it. What?
What do you mean Bad Bunny's not in the game? This next topic here, I don't know if you saw it in the show notes. This is all you. Okay. I'm gonna put the graphic up here. And I'm gonna let you say your piece. This week, the wrestling fans are sending off an icon, a legend. They're sending away Sting. I'm not going to talk about this because I'm just a Sting fan of what I've seen in WCW. Obviously, DJ is a bigger Sting fan than me. He has the hoodie on. If you look in the background there, he has the Sting poster that's there.
Oh, that's a canvas.
You know, he has. I can only imagine how many things he has of Sting. But take us down memory lane. For people who don't know why Sting is your favorite wrestler.
Well, Sting is my favorite wrestler because, and I wrote a pretty good paper about this, but you'll get the audio version. So I used to get bullied as a kid. I got made fun of. I live here in Inglewood, California. You're listening to my voice. I've spoken like this since I was a child. Okay, so I showed up to kindergarten and I spoke like this. My mother was a social worker, and as I was learning, she was teaching me how to talk as a infant. She made sure that I spoke properly. Like, so I didn't learn any other word, any other slang until I went to school. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting made fun of. You're getting, I was a little skinny kid and all that, and then so this incident happens where. So the cool kids was like, hey, we're going to let you in the group. And then only to go to lunch recess, and they completely humiliate me. Like, I was like, oh, I'm in the group. They're like, no, you're not. And then proceeded to point and laugh. Right. devastating. That weekend was the episode where Sting's in the thinking he's in the Four Horsemen, and the Four Horsemen jump him all of a sudden during the promo, and then Ric Flair grabs him by, you really thought you were in the Four Horsemen? Are you kidding? What happened in that storyline? And my dad was sitting there, and he's like, you see, they're doing that because they're scared of him because he's different. That people are they're scared of something that can be different. And that from that, and then so I can see parallels after that, and I can see, and then now you when we say you gravitate the characters that think about it for even yourself, your favorite wrestler, there was something going on with that character that connected to you personally, and that's what so boom, I've had unfortunately I've had friends that have that just for no reason leaving behind in life and all that. So Sting has been he's probably the most turned on guy in all of wrestling. So yeah, and then so that's the personal side, but then then just look at the man's resume. You have to say he's one of the greatest of all time. He's got the title wins. He's got the only thing he did not do was go to WWE in his prime. That's the only thing he didn't do.
I wish he would have.
Yeah. Especially after that sale. After the sale, I really wish he would have, especially during that. Could you imagine in the invasion and all of a sudden he comes down from the, he comes scrolling down during the rafters during one of the spots where everybody's jumping each other, and then, oh God, so, that Sting Taker match never happened, so, so certain, a lot of what ifs, but, but for the work that he did put out there, you have to, what's he what, 14 times, I believe, champion?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, a big man, and he's actually not a small guy, and he was out there, go look at a Stinger splash when he was in his prime. He's jumping from the middle of the ring and landing on the guy in the corner with no without his feet touching the ground. I'm
sure that had to hurt.
Yeah,
a lot.
There was a couple of times you could see him overshoot the guy. He would accidentally overshoot him. But and then just a great guy. You don't really hear backstage drama with him and him needing to win. Oh, I don't like that finish and I need to win. The only time we've ever seen him do that was with an inebriated Jeff Hardy. That's the only time we've seen him say, "No, I'm winning this now."
So I'm gonna pose this question to you as I throw this picture up there, because I saw this picture and I said, "This is great," because now you don't have to sit there and really think. You can look at this graphic and say to yourself, I know which one.
Okay.
Which version of Sting do you love? There was a lot of versions of Sting.
Yes. It's kind of so you see that so they had that transition, right? And then there's a version of that right in between that transition that we were about to get the Mattel of. Where he doesn't quite, it's he has a simple scorpion black shirt on with a little scorpion on it. Right in between between the transition and the Crow, where he's just kind of sitting there and you don't know what the hell he's gonna do. And he was showing up and if you remember, he was showing up the matches, not saying anything. He would push you with the bat, put the bat on the ground, and turn around just to see where you were. That shit right there was whoa, that to me, that was the dopest version of him. And then he would just come out whenever, if there was a save to be made. And then I wouldn't so I happened to I was not really watching a whole lot of wrestling when he was Joker. So I went back and watched it because shout out to the station on the channel on YouTube, Wrestling Bios.
Right.
This man did a 2-part. If you go back, you guys can go back and watch this too. Like, he did a 2-part bio on Sting because he had to. And he said you should go back and like he started showing the clips of the Joker Sting. I was like, this was actually good. I think I think this is underrated. Especially his transformation into it. So yeah, so I gotta say between those two, I enjoyed.
I always like Crow Sting because like when he was transitioning to the Crow gimmick, it was like you didn't know where he was gonna go. Like, are you turning heel?
Right, yeah.
Are you still gonna be the face that we love? Like, what exactly is your motive? And when he was just attacking the NWO and doing all these things, like I was so heavily invested into it. And then he transitions to Wolfpack Sting, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? It was still great,
Right.
and I'm just like, what else can this man do?
Right.
I fell off of wrestling for a little while after that.
Right.
Picked it back up when he was Joker Sting. Watch the other ones, obviously, because you can go online and watch all the other elements of Sting, you know, in wrestling. I can say my least favorite will be the WWE Sting because I just felt like a lot of the stuff that they did with him was just rushed. And it was only to make Seth Rollins look good.
Well, okay. So, so I think what happened there was, so first off, when you even watch the documentary that WWE did,
right?
So he tells you over and over, he's thinking this was the last match. So, you know, he's old school. He's like, you lose this match. And then the title match is kind of, but they're like, wait, did you hear that reaction? Like, you need a couple more matches, basically. But we can't put the title on, right? Like, it's like, but, and then, so Sting is very, like, he's nicer than me. Okay. You can clearly hear him, like you could probably even go to the Botchamania and they probably on the talk too much section. But I heard it even during the match. He like, so after the first buckle bomb, he goes, let's go away from that spot. Seth didn't listen. And then so he sees that Seth is doing it again. He's like, okay, I'm already up here. So, okay, you know, he's like telling himself in his mind, okay, remember to tuck your chin this time. But it was too late. He's already he was already jacked up. Yeah. So so why do it? Like, my thing was, why do it again? Like, you know, I was kind of upset with Seth. It's like, there's a million other spots you could have gone to. He even asked you not to do it anymore, and you still
didn't listen.
Yep. So, you know, so yeah, so that's probably, like you said. I wish there was some more. I do wish there was some more time there. I think he, just like what happened in AEW here, he probably would have ended up with some kind of, like, you know, probably some kind of title just to, you know, just as a good thank you.
Tyson goes late Crow Sting, late 99, early 2000 is his favorite.
Jamal speaking of that, like, that Sting always got like a score in the 90s when talking about the 2K game. Every time that particular Sting in the 2K game would always be a high 90s rating on
it. Jamal says that it sucks because we never got Sting versus Taker in a match, which they still could have did something through the pandemic. But
I was like, you know, I did too. Like, just like that cinematic match they had. Sting did a cinematic match in AEW, so it would have worked. I think people would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
We're getting close to the end here because our next segment is winners and losers of the week. This week's winners and losers is sponsored by Ringside Collectibles. Like I say this every single week, If you're tired of going into Target and Walmarts
Yes.
looking for ultimates or looking for elites and you're just not having that luck, try Ringside Collectibles. I'm sure that they're going to have some type of sale. They're going to have the action figure that you're looking for. I was recently at a Target a couple of days ago and I couldn't find anything. They had one Britt Baker action figure sitting on the shelf by itself. No one wanted this action figure. So imagine if you go in from one Target to another Target to another Target, you're spending gas money. If you're not driving, then you're jumping on the train and you're spending God knows amount of money depending on the city that you're in to come up short every single time. Save the hassle, save the wait and the disappointment. Go to Ringside Collectibles, use the code word to call up. It's going to save you 10% on every single order that you make and just live a little more easier.
Right.
Ringside is they're gonna take good care of you. They're gonna package it well for all you MOC collectors. If you're not an MOC collector and you just want to take it out of the box, then they have some damaged ones there, which Ringside always gets me when they say it's damaged because I've bought a damaged action figure from them just to see, and it was literally like a small little dent on the box
or like
on the back of the box. You're not even noticing it, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I just saved me like $10 on it, so I'm good.
Right.
But DJ, I'll start it off with you because I have your name on here first. I went in alphabetical order. What is your first win? How many winners do you have this week?
I only had one winner really.
Oh, okay. Week. So, what is your one winner of the week? And what's crazy about it, I think I only have like two. So
okay, I don't feel so bad then. Yeah, it was the way they did Sting coming down from the rafters. I think was a win. Didn't expect it. Done great. Like they did it in a way where they did it the safe way, in a way he can detach without it taking forever.
Right.
Like back in the day, if you go watch back in the day, it took him a minute to get out. Like you didn't mind that it took him a minute to get out of the harness, and they kind of sold it like he would wave his bat around a little bit and then take the thing off. This one, like it looks like something new. Like he was able to disconnect pretty quick. So, but I thought that was done well. And I'll even throw in like the room that the Bucks went in that had the bats hanging.
Mm-hmm.
That was from WCW. Like that was like Sting used to do promos in a room with bats hanging all over the place. So so that was a little Easter egg there, which was kind of cool. So I got to give that a W.
My winner of the week is Maxine Dupree. She's been getting a lot of backlash online, saying that her wrestling sucks, that people are starting to boo her. I saw a video of a house show that she did, and they were booing her, and they said Maxine sucks. Mm-hmm. I put her as my winner of the week, not just to, I love her effort.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to her backstory, she tries really hard in the ring. She goes to Natty and TJ's school to get better, on top of promoting herself, promoting her small business. She's a fashion designer that's trying to get some of her clothes, out there. So she's doing that, and she's sewing new outfits when she goes out to these wrestling events to try and please the crowd. So, and I love the simple fact that like all the women in the locker room came together to bat for her, and was just like, she's working hard to make you guys happy. Like, shut the fuck up, enjoy the product, and have a nice day.
Because again, it's not like she's in the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's not there yet. Um, I would just like, so my advice to her is when you are having the matches with people there, simplify that match. Then when you're working on stuff at Natty's gym, then you try to do like, cause it looks like she's trying to do like advanced stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And cause I got to see like the moves that people were booing. And so she's trying to do something really advanced, and you can tell she's not ready to do it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so out in public, you can't like. So I'm gonna I'm only gonna like this much agree with the crowd saying, "Hey, I paid money. I didn't pay to come see you mess up like that, like to like make it look that bad, right? Okay, go take that to practice. Okay. Other than that, though, I'm like the stuff that like you're saying, like so my loser, like so I'm gonna go into my loser to tell because my loser was the guy that was in that video when she's walking to the back.
I had him in my losers as well.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Like, so I'm reading, as you're reading on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, God, like you get a chance to, have your opinion, and you get to boo and cheer everybody. You can yell out people suck. I get that, but this guy was like, you're taking he was taking a little bit over the top. Okay, when you see when the wrestler that lost is walking out, and he's doing this, like, folks, they're off stage basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like since you guys, some people can't put that into context. They're you're not even really supposed to see them. Like that's not for you to be yelling at them while they're walking back. If you want to boo, boo, but all of the insults, not necessary. Again, let's see you try.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it was like, listen, if you can go out there and do what she just did right now and do it better,
right,
then we have no issue. But if you can't even take a bump correctly, if your cardio is not on point,
yep,
you don't remember half the stuff that she has to remember. Shut the
right,
fuck up, watch the product,
yep,
and enjoy yourself. If you don't like it, shut it off. Don't go to a show. Don't give them your money. Yeah.
Okay, hey, I don't like this match. I'm gonna go get a beer and some popcorn. Anybody want anything?
Exactly.
Like that's come on now.
Right, but don't sit there and boo somebody, because I'm sure that when you first went to your job, you was not the best, and it took you a minute.
Right.
So don't go to somebody else's job.
Oh,
telling them what to do.
You're like, I missed that. Like, I didn't want to have so many losers. I guess is one thing. That's a good loser.
Tyson brings up a really good loser, which I had in my losers of the week.
Yep, go ahead.
And that was that segment that we had with Ric Flair and the Young Bucks. They had that it looked like Flair was going to turn and hit Darby Allin. And then the slowest transition to a turn I've ever seen in my life. Flair hitting the Young Bucks and hitting them and knocking them down. I was like, what am I watching? What is this? I rewatched it again the next day. And it got me even more upset. Like, seriously, like Tony Khan had to freaking sign off on this, right? He had to sit there with the Young Bucks and say, this was great. This was complete bullshit. Like, I wish Tom was here right now, because Tom is a really big Ric Flair fan.
He would be going off right now.
And even like, come on now. This goes back to when Flair said that if I'm embarrassing Tony Khan and the product, take me off.
Did. Yep, he did.
Take him off. I love Ric Flair. Take him off TV. Go to the back. Give him your knowledge of the business. Become a producer. Help out with the company to make it better. We don't need you on TV doing these half-at turtle motion moves. And I'm not talking about Ninja Turtles.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
This was
No.
horrible.
No, I should only hear him talk. Like, in fact, I think when they should rotate him into the announcing team. But that's it. Like, I should not see him in the ring, or any kind of physical thing should be over.
The one thing another thing that AEW did and they dropped the ball is when you had Andrade there, you should have paired him with Ric Flair. First of all, everybody already knows that you're married to his daughter.
Right.
Why not have it that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna bring in the best in this business, the slickest talker known to man. I'm gonna bring in my father-in-law to watch my back.
Right. And we could mouthpiece.
And he could have just been the mouthpiece. But no. You want to bring that aisle. You want to bring out 112-year-old Ric Flair with 2 prosthetic knees, a bad back, artificial shoulders, and the man can't even move his neck correctly. You want to shuffle his ass down to the ring. You want to slut him.
He does shuffle.
I'm going to use the word I'm going to use the word that they use here in
here he is.
There he is. There he is in the comments. Now, I'm going to use the word. I'm going to use a phrase that they use here in New York. Nick and the Young Bucks slutted out Ric Flair last night on Dynamite.
Well, and I mean, it might be like, see, even Tom.
Listen, I'm Tom. I'm so sorry, but they put your man out in the corner and they slutted him out like he was at Hunts Point. Because, my God, why?
Oh, Winter Sting. That's pretty. Yeah, they do drop the snow and everything when he comes out, huh?
I love that part.
But yeah, he says, 2024, I don't want Rick on my TV.
See, even Tom says it, and Tom is a diehard Ric Flair fan. Which, Tom, I'm still waiting for you to sell me that hockey jersey. I'm just saying. Just saying.
If you ever need. Hey, we got a birthday in the house.
John's birthday's today. Happy birthday, John.
Look at that.
Never.
He said never.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of touched. Like, the man's spending his birthday on our show.
I'm gonna be buried in that shit. And I believe you too.
It would not doubt me at all. It wouldn't surprise me that one bit. Not one bit.
Don't put him in a suit. Just put him in the Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Hockey jersey.
Yeah, I'm going to do the eulogy, and it's like, I'll be like, damn it, I knew he'd be wearing that jersey.
Fuck. Wanted that shit.
Yeah, he's in the back mad about it.
Tell my kids, you gotta go to Tom's wake. You gotta do me the favor. Get me the jersey.
Just distract everybody for a minute. I know we just killed you off before us, Tom, and that's
I'm sorry, Tom. I love you.
It's all in jest.
Look. Wait, hold on. I love you guys. You guys. Look, come on.
Let's see. My next loser was I'm sorry, the Eddie Kingston chops. I can't do it.
Oh,
I can't do it. I can't do it. Stop.
Oh my fucking God, I hate that shit.
Please stop. I can't do it.
I saw that match. They had them all in 3 different corners. You see, like, they're chopping away, and here comes Eddie with he's just tapping you. And I've seen Eddie Kingston
while he's
chop somebody. I've seen him hurt somebody with a chop in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because he's going through injuries or he's just saying, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy, but that was way too easy. Like, we didn't need that.
That was an L.
I don't. This
Yeah,
is
I'm so
another.
I'm glad my daughter got out of V Bucks because yeah, all that would would become V Bucks if she was still into it.
Tom, don't tell me that because I got
You
the
just
money
pay
to
the.
go.
I'm about to say you just pay the V Bucks and take the jersey.
Oh, listen, for sure, my kids will sell my wrestling belts for some V Bucks and some VC coins
I'm about
for
to say some
NBA
2K.
2K. Yeah, for 2K for sure. How much you'll give me for this belt? You'll give me $100. I'll
Dude,
take
I'll
it.
give you the ultimate version of the
Yep.
2K.
Fucking shit.
And my last loser, I don't know, did you have another loser?
No, I didn't.
Is just the presentation of Will Ospreay on Wednesday.
It felt mid.
I'm like, this is like one like so for what we know,
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this man came out just some whatever music. The the video screen just had his name, like just kind of put his name across. He's wearing a green jumpsuit. Now somebody said, well, okay, well he got his, they lost his luggage, right?
And I heard that.
Okay.
But still, you
No,
have money. You have money.
You're getting what I'm saying. Like, so anybody that has worked in any kind of production, it's like this is no. You right then you get some like they have petty cash for this. You go to the come on, we're going to go get you an outfit for the show. Like you can't go out like that, and they let him go out like that. This is what So I'm trying. I'm trying to find credit.
Came out like April O'Neil.
Came out like one of the Spirit Squad in this bad boy.
Why with the green outfit? I said, what is this shit? I was like, okay, this is what we presenting.
He's gonna go Willie of the Spirit Squad.
That's it for all your losers, all of our winners. We're closing out the show now. I think we had a lot of things that we talked about today. We remember Virgil. We talked about the 2K video game roster. We went back to memory lane with Sting. We recapped Elimination Chamber. We're getting ready for WrestleMania, which is like 30 something days away. Getting ready for the Rock tour because he has 3 different SmackDown appearances that he's doing. Hopefully we get some type of response on Friday from the Rock when it comes to Cody Rhodes. And obviously we'll sit here and discuss it. If you wanted to interact with us a little bit more, please follow us on Instagram at the Call Up Podcast. That's where you can catch me and DJ at a lot of the time. And if you have questions that you guys want to ask us or things that you want us to post, please shoot us a DM and we will gladly look over it, or we will send you a reply right away, letting you know what we think about it. And if you have videos that you guys want us to post, please send it over. I do post it a lot. So definitely do that. Let's get some shout outs here. Shout outs to the Knucklehead Networks that helps us power through this episodes each week by providing us a slot in their weekly run of shows that they have. You can catch a Knuckleheads Network show every day of the week, Monday through Friday from 9 all the way to midnight, depending on your location. Shout out to the Fig Cave podcast. I can't stress this out enough. I was on there yesterday and I seen that there was a good couple of action figures that people were selling out there. Kind of was getting that itch to start collecting again. I know I told my wife that I was gonna take a break from collecting until we get the house situation in order because we're in the process of looking for a home. But man, I'm really thinking I might have to get some stuff on there. But if you're not a part of the Fake Cave right now, and you do listen to the Run In podcast, please join the Patreon. It starts at $1 a month. That's going to give you full access to the Facebook page where hundreds of collectors are buying and trading action figures of all kinds. So if there's something that you're looking for and you're a part of the Fake Cave Facebook page, jump on there, post the picture up on there, be PayPal ready, be Venmo ready, or Cash App, whatever the case may be. And you're always going to get it retail price. I've never seen anybody shoot a price on the Fake Cave that's outrageous. Maybe they may jump it up an extra $20 just so they can make a little something. But you think about it, it beats going on eBay and not getting the action figure that you're looking for, or maybe going to Macari and it just you got outbid. It's a great group of people that's in the Fake Cave. Even if you are not an average, an active collector, there's tons of conversations that people have on there. I know Mike Lanham goes on there. He says, get to know your Fake Cave member. And he puts up a poll of what things that you like. I think the last one was like cereal and stuff like that. Like, what's your favorite cereal? What would you eliminate type of thing. So there's fun interactions in there just besides, action figure talk,
Yep.
But obviously, if you join the Patreon, you're going to get a whole lot more besides, getting an access to the Facebook page. You get to listen to our show. You get to listen to the audio version of our show. You get to listen to and watch the audio version of the Fake Cave podcast. There's behind the scenes videos there as well. There's unboxings. There's toy runs. There's cooking videos on there. There's what else do they have on there? Oh, there's a video right now on the guide to WrestleMania. If you're a first time person going to a WrestleMania, on what to do as far as like going to a WrestleCon, or where to sit, or what parties to go to while you're out there, what independent shows normally run through WrestleMania weekend. So if you haven't signed up for the Patreon yet, you're going to miss some really great information that's going to help you while you out in Philly, instead of sitting there in the corner with a Philly cheesesteak in your freaking mouth, missing God knows what other events you could have saw, instead of being an asshole and not signing up for $1 a month.
But do get a Philly cheesesteak though.
But get the Philly cheesesteak anyway. It's pretty good.
With the cheese whiz.
He goes, what a plug. It's true though. Come on now.
It's true though. This is not,
and
you
the
got
Fake Cave all around saves you so
everybody here's got a buck. Make sure like and do all the stuff you do with all of your favorite shows. Do your like, do your subscribe, come back, tell your friends. We're going up the charts here. And like Puff Daddy used to say, I thought I told you that we ain't stopping.
Definitely.
We ain't stopping. Okay, so but don't worry, we're not doing all the other stuff that Puff Daddy was doing though.
Hey, listen. You never know. Times are rough. No, let me stop because my wife will kill me.
Like, what the hell did you?
But shout outs to the Jabba Tears podcast, the Marks Pod. You guys are always supporting us. Shout outs to SeatGeek and Ringside Collectibles for being sponsors of the show. Shout out Battle Club Pro. They just announced that they're back in the New York scene to start bringing you more wrestling shows in the New York City area. And also, like I tell everybody each and every week, thank you for joining us each and every week, not only on Instagram, but here on Thursdays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to grab their phones, put on the Call Up podcast, and give us your opinion on your take when it comes to the wrestling world. Guys, until next time, be safe, and we will be talking to you.